Hey, what's going on guys, it is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. And today, I'm going to be showcasing to you guys how you can go ahead and create your own numbers to put onto your cars on F1 2020. If you end up enjoying today's tutorial, feel free to drop it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here as well. And if there's any other types of tutorials that you want to get a little bit of an interest in, let me know in the comment section down below and we can have a look at them. So for the time being, let's get straight into it then. So in order to create your own custom numbers to put onto your cars for F1 2020, you're going to need three things in order to do that. Why am I holding up two fingers? You need three things. First things first, you're going to need ERP Archiver version 7.1 or newer. This is the only version, and anything obviously newer as well, that will work for F1 2020. If you get ERP Archiver and you use an older version, it's not going to work for F1 2020. So it's got to be version 7.1 or above. Step number two, you're going to need Adobe Photoshop. You need Adobe Photoshop in order to actually create what we're going to be creating. And then step number three is we're going to go ahead and need the Intel TextureWorks DDS plugin in order to actually go ahead and save all of our pieces of documents and also to export and import. So, those are the three things you're going to need. So let's move on to step number one of actually getting ourselves our own number here. And I've just closed down my Photoshop, which ain't the greatest thing in the world. So first things first, we need to go ahead and actually get a number really. So for today, let's get straight into it. So we go into our ERP Archiver, and we're going to go and open up one of the numbers here. I was doing some helmet modding, messing around, so let's just go out to here. So what you want to do is you want to go onto your own PC and you want to go ahead and find where your in-game files are for F1 2020. You can find them by literally just going up to the top and getting all the way through your Steam apps and then finding F1 2020. You're going to need to then go to Asset Groups, and then once you're onto Asset Groups, we need to go to the Vehicle package in order to find our numbers. Once we've got onto the Vehicle package, we've then got three selections, and we just need to click on Teams. And then from here, you've got the choice of what you want to do. You can pick whichever team that you want in order to mess around with the numbers with. The only thing I'll say is just try not to get a little bit confused, because within the in-game files, they still haven't changed the team names, so you've still got Force India, Lotus, Sauber, Toro Rosso. So just be careful of that. It is still Racing Point, Renault, Alfa Romeo, and AlphaTauri. You just can't be bothered to change it, and I don't know why, but that's Cody's. So what we're going to do, I think we're going to go ahead and we'll change Toro Rosso or AlphaTauri, why not? So you just click onto it, and then just click onto the next file, and then we get straight over to Toro Rosso. So as you can see, we're now here over on this lovely ERP for the AlphaTauri. So in order for you to get the number that you specifically want, all you need to do is just go into the top search bar here, well, and just type in the number that you want. And obviously, as I'm FoxyDude98, I'm going to go get 98. But you can pick whichever number you want. If, for example, in your little fantasy career modes, you wanted Alex Albon to go into, you know, the AlphaTauri again, you can just get number 23. And the number is there. You just click on it and you can see the number. The only time it's going to get a little bit complicated is if you need, like, the number 2, for example, and it's going to give you all of these because, you know, it's 20, you know, whatever. You'll eventually find it. It won't take you too long. But for us, we're going to get the number 98. So as you can see, we're going to get this one. So all we're going to do is go to Textures and export this out. And if you've got a file which has all of your mods in there, go ahead and use those. For me, I'm not going to use them because I'm literally just showcasing a number and I'll be deleting the thing once I'm done. So I'm just going to save it out into my desktop. And that's it. We're done with step number one. We found the number that we want to use, and we've gone ahead and exported that out. So let's go on to step number two, which is Photoshop. Alright, so we're onto step number 2 now for Photoshop, and I've already gone ahead and clicked open my number that I have gone ahead and started with. And as you can see, we have got a set of files here, and it's given us these load options. What we want to do is we want to load transparency as alpha channel. You don't want to load bitmaps into separate layers. You just need to tick the first one, loading the transparency as an alpha channel. Straight away now, we've got our canvas. We can see our number by here, and we can obviously, well, do anything with it. Now this is where it gets simple. Now there are two different ways that you can go ahead and do this number that we're going to do now. The first way is you might want to just keep the same number that you can see here and you just want to change the color. So we're going to do that step first, then we'll do a custom number where we get a different font. So for somebody that wants to have a different number, we're just going to go ahead and unlock the layer so we can actually go ahead and use it. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the color. That's it. So I'm just going to find the color on here. Let's just make it green, because why the hell not? I don't really care what color it is. Boom and boom. There we go. We've got our color. From here, all we'll do is file and then save as. And then I'm going to, again, do it on my desktop. So I'm just going to put num98. There we go. And as you can see, because we've got the Intel Textureworks DDS plugin, we need to save it as an Intel Textureworks DDS file. Otherwise, we aren't going to be able to import it. So we're going to save that there. Then this Intel Textureworks piece is going to come up in terms of a pop-up. Because we're also using the alpha channel, we need to save it as color and alpha. Use the compression, just keep it as default on this, and then bitmaps on auto generate, and then boom. That's it, we're done. We have now basically got our number if all you wanted to do is change the color. But if you're somebody that wants to go ahead and actually add in your own font and have a completely different looking number, we're going to do that step as well. So what we're going to do is, if we wanted a completely different number and we didn't want the number 98 looking kind of like basic like this, for now I'm going to go ahead and use just a text image here. Well, what is this one? I don't even know what this one looks like. Let's just put in number 98 and see what it looks like. Or if it doesn't want me to do that, that's great. Right, let's just, okay, what we got here? 98, boom. And I'd rather, let's just, get that in green for a second so I can see what it looks like. Yeah, go on, we'll use this number. I think I used this one in F1 Journey, and what we'll do is we will change it to white, just so we have a good comparison. So, boom, there we go. So, now we've got our number right here. Now, basically, what we've got to think about whenever you're creating your own numbers in F1 2020, you need to think about the size of the number. Now, with this being the AlphaTauri's number, sometimes you can create a number that could technically actually be smaller than the one that's on the car, and it would still fit. What you've got to remember as well is that there are sometimes, if you then try and make the number bigger than the one that is the current AlphaTauri number, it might be out of position, or bits of the number might get cut off with the way that the modding of the car works. Best bet is, if you want to do it simply, just keep the number the same size and just match your font with that number. If you're somebody that wants to make the number smaller, or you want to make it bigger, it's just going to be trial and error. You just have to save it, import it, which we'll do, and then just keep checking the number and see how it looks. So what I'm going to do then with my beautiful number 98 is I'm going to go ahead and just, well, make it bigger. So it literally does fit most of it. So as you can see, it's probably just a tiny bit bigger. So I'll make it a tiny bit smaller. So if I look at it, if I go about there, and then we'll increase it by about that. That should be all right. It's literally not too far out of position. So now we've got our giant number 98 here. And then what I'm going to do is, on my layer, which is got the original one that we just made, I'm going to go ahead and just paint that out in black, just so it's out of the way, so I can now see the number that I've got. Now the next step is we need to now focus on the alpha channel. So if you go over to channels, which is on the right hand side down near the bottom of Photoshop, we have got three things. We've got the RGB, and then we have got alpha 1. Now if you see on the RGB, we've got our number 98, which is absolutely perfect, but on the alpha channel here, we've still got the original 98 that was on there in the first place. Now, anything that is white in the alpha channel is going to show up on your car in F1 2020. So if you tried to do everything that I've just done so far, and then you saved it and imported, you're still going to get this number 98 on there. It's not going to be any different. In order for us to get the 98 that we want on the car, what we need to do is we need to hold down Control and then click on the T. This is then going to highlight the entirety of the number 98, which is what we need to actually utilize. Next up, we're going to go back into the channels, and then we're going to go back into our alpha channel, and as you can see, we've now got the 98 highlighted here. What we want to do is we want to get our paintbrush tool out, and we want to go ahead and paint it all in white. This is now basically going to allow us to have our number show up on our car, which is what we want. Next thing we want to do is we want to get the rectangular marquee tool, and then we want to right click on top of either the 9 or the 8, just on top of any of them. And from here, we want to select inverse. Now this is going to basically select the entirety of the canvas, but it's going to block us from making any edits to the 98. Why? Because what we now need to do is change the color to black, and we need to then black out the 98 behind it. Like I said, anything that's in white on the alpha channel is going to show up. What we want to do is basically remove the old number from actually being able to go onto the car. And as you can see, we've now got a 98 in our RGB, and it's also in our alpha channel. So from here, we can now save it. We're going to go and save this again, and we're just going to call this T because it had a font, I don't know. And again, same purpose, color and alpha, leave the compression as it says on the screen here, and then auto generate again for the numbers. And that's it. We've now got the number that we wanted. What we're going to do is we're going to go back into ERP Archiver now, and we're going to go ahead and import this. So the way to import the number into ERP Archiver, basically you just have to remember what the real life driver's numbers are. So for AlphaTauri in 2020, we had Pierre Gasly, who was driver number 10, and we had Danica Fiat, who was driver number 26. So if we have a look at number 10, you can see, I mean, I'm doing F1 Journey modding, as you may or may not know, depending if you watch all my videos or you're just watching this tutorial. So obviously it says the number 16, and then if you go over to number 26, you can see that obviously, again, I've put in George Russell's number into here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go on to number 26, we'll change George Russell's, and what we're going to do is we're going to go to textures and we're going to go to import. All you need to do is just find your number. So here is our number 98, perfect. What it's going to do then is it's going to select Mipmaps, save location and file name. It should take you all the way over to this textures piece over by here, and straight away leave it highlighted as number 26 and just save it. If it doesn't take you straight to this section, although it should do, you'll be able to see all of the previous locations. You just go again to your Steam apps and to your F120 in-game files, go to vehicle package, not asset groups, teams, and then go to the Toro Rosso or whatever number that you're changing. Go to textures and you'll find this piece. We're going to save it though, and it's going to tell us if you wanted to, there's already a thing in there. Do you want to override it? Yes, you do. And there is our number 98. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to save the actual ERP Archiver file. And that is everything. We've gone ahead and saved it. So we're going to go and jump onto F1 2020 now and have a look at our new car with its new number. All right, so we're here on F1 2020, and as you can see, our number is on our car. So we're going to go into photo mode and have a little bit of a look. So as you can see, onto the front of the car, you can see that the number 98 is absolutely prominent now that we've added it onto there. Again, like I said, what we did with this number in particular is we did make it a little bit bigger than the original one, so you can sort of see how it doesn't quite fit fully into the little black box. Again, by the way, this is not the AlphaTauri. I mean, it's the AlphaTauri chassis, but I've already made an Audi livery that I designed like a while ago, and I'm doing an F1 Journey series on. You can watch it if you fancy. And as you can see then, on the engine cover here, we've got the number 98 showcasing there. Showcasing that our number has worked absolutely brilliantly. But there we go, guys. That is going to be it for my number tutorial on F1 2020. If it's something that you have enjoyed, feel free to drop it a like, subscribe if you're new around here as well. Like I said, the Intel TextureWorks DDS plugin and the ERP Archiver links will be in the description down below, so you can go ahead and check those out and download them in order to create your own numbers. Let me know if this helped, and I'll see you next time. Take care all. Peace.